Welcome to the World Series of Fighting 8 conference call. If anyone would like to ask a question during this call, please press star and then the number 1 on your telephone keypad. I will now turn the call over to Mr. John Bayruti.
Okay, thank you very much, operator. On behalf of the World Series of Fighting, everyone, our first event of the year, Saturday, January 18th, from the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida. I'd like to thank you and welcome you to today's call. With us today on the call are 6 of the 10 fighters who will be participating in the 5 televised fights on the NBC Sports Network. The televised portion of the card on NBC Sports Network begins at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, all live. And preceding the live televised card will be preliminary fights streamed live at WSOF.com. Tickets are available for the event at Ticketmaster, starting at a great price, $29. This is going to be a terrific show to kick off the year. Obviously, 2013 was a really nice year for the World Series of Fighting, to say the least. And we have high expectations to continue that and even surpass what we achieved last year in 2014. With us on today's call are the WSOF President, Ray Sefo, WSOF Executive Vice President, Ali Abdelaziz, Justin Gaethje. Okay, thanks, Ray. Now we'll go to the fighters in one of 2 world title fights on Saturday, January 18th. They'll both be first title fights ever in their respective weight classes. We've got Justin Gaethje and Rich Patishnock, who will be fighting for the WSOF's inaugural lightweight championship. So let's start with Justin. Justin, how are things going? What are your thoughts going into this fight and the opportunity at hand and fighting Rich?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I think Rich is stepping up and taking this fight late notice. That's awesome. I just want to fight and get this done. I want to thank the World Series for, giving me the opportunity to be the face of their lightweight promotion. That's a big thing that, they're entrusting me with, and I'm excited for that.
Okay, great. You fought, so Rich has fought, I believe, 3 times in the WSOF, and Rich has fought twice already, so these guys are household name. Rich, welcome to the call. What are your thoughts going into this world title fight?
Hey, thanks for having me. I want to thank WSOF for the opportunity. I want to thank Justin Gaethje for, I'm sure it's been rough for him to opponents, and now I'm lucky he won't get punched in the face by him. So my thoughts going into this fight are, just stay calm, have fun, and give the fans hopefully a great show and live up to my potential at a new weight class.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. In one of the featured fights, we've got heavyweights that are very familiar to the MMA community and beyond, Anthony Rumble Johnson and Mike Kyle. Both these guys are established. They've achieved a lot of success in the light heavyweight division, and now finally, it's been a long time coming, but finally these 2 guys will be going head-to-head. So we'll start with you, Anthony. Welcome to the call. What are your thoughts about fighting Mike and the fact that this fight's finally happening and how your training's been, et cetera, et cetera?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me here. Everything's been going smooth. Everything's, working out beautifully, and I'm really excited to get this fight over with. It seems like it's been going on for about a year. And, I had to pull out the first time, and then, Mike had to pull out the second time, but we're finally getting it done, and both of us are healthy. So I'm excited, and I know we're going to give the fans what they want.
Okay, great. Thanks, Anthony. Mike, what are your thoughts going into your fight with Rumble Johnson?
I got to start off with thinking Anthony taking this fight. It's a bummer. all the fans had to wait this long for this fight to happen. We're happy to put on a great show, and I'm sure we're going to be putting on a great show, exciting show to kick off the year for the World Series of Fighting. And I'm just thankful to be, a part of something and excited. And we're going to let those fans see a great show.
Okay, thank you. As everyone knows, women's MMA has really come to the forefront the last couple years, and two of the best fighters at 115 pounds in the women's division, Jessica Aguilar, who's regarded as the top-ranked 115-pounder in the world, is fighting Alita Gray, who's undefeated with 4 stoppage wins since turning pro in June 2012. This is going to be a terrific match and a great opportunity for the women to show their stuff again on WSOF. So, Jessica, welcome to the call. And what are your thoughts going into this 5-round fight for the inaugural WSOF Women's Strawweight Championship?
Good afternoon, guys. It's very excited. I'm very excited. I'm very honored to be a part of the WSOF and be fighting for the world title January 18th on NBC Sports. And I'm just, I just can't be more grateful. I'm ready and prepared. This is my last hard week of training, and I'm going to give the fans what I always give, the best of me. I'm going to leave everything inside of that cage, and I'm really excited. I'm really grateful. So everybody stay tuned. January 18th on NBC Sports. Okay,
thank you.
Thank you.
Alita, you got a little late start in the game, but you've certainly made up for lost time, and here you are in the eve of a world championship fight. So what are your thoughts about fighting for the first ever WSOF women's strawweight title and fighting Jessica Aguilar?
Hello, everyone. Well, definitely, of course, I'm very excited, and I'm very honored to have been picked for this fight. WSOF. I'm going to bring a fight. It's also my last week of hard work and hard training. So, I'm going to give it my all, and I'm going to bring a fight to Jessica. And I hope everybody's ready for this.
Okay. Thank you. We have a large number of media on this call, so if you want to ask a question, you can punch in now. Operator, if you just give the instructions one more time, and then we'll begin with the Q&A.
If anyone would like to ask a question, you can press star and then the number 1 on your telephone keypad. Would you like to take the first question now?
Yes, go ahead. Thank you.
Jason Floyd of MMAReport.com.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for taking the time. If Ali's available, Ali, you mentioned on an article that was posted last night that you'd have a little announcement to make on this conference call of why Bellator has not reacted to your challenge. Do you want to make that announcement?
Right now, just let's focus on this fight, and we have some great fights on. And end of the call, I will see something in the media. Just let's now focus on this fight. We have Justin Gaethje fighting Rich. This fight is going to be a bloodbath. Both guys coming forward. And personally, I normally wear a darker shirt, a white shirt to the fight. I'm not going to because there's going to be blood everywhere. Just let's focus on this fight, and we'll talk at the end of the fight about this stuff.
On the main event, Ali, it's gone through some injury changes. What made you go to Rich Patishnock the third time, and why he was the guy to get the title shot?
Man, Rich was a guy who we brought in, and he was, he fought at 170 pounds, Igor Gracie, and we didn't know how good Rich was, and he held his ground as Igor. It was a freak injury, but after that, he fought Gregor Gracie. He's a 170 pounder, and personally, I know how tough Gregor is. He's big, strong. And he took the fight, and he brought up to Gregor. It was a great fight. And then he told me, I want to drop to 170. And the kid has nothing but heart. And he's 2-0 World Series for fighting. Justin Gaethje is 3-0. And I put this fight stylistically. The winner is the fan. Both guys, they come forward. They throw big punches. They throw bombs. Justin Gaethje, guys, he doesn't really care if you keep punching him, if you kick him, if you hurt him, if you make him bleed. is coming to finish you. And I can see this fight really 5 round of just a brutal bloodbath, and it's just the fan is going to be the winner for this one.
My final question would be for Ray. Ray, it's been almost a year now that you signed that 3-year partnership with the NBC Sports Network. How is the relationship going at this time, and what are things that we should expect in 2014?
The relationship is great. We have a great relationship with NBC Sports Network, and obviously there's a few announcements that needs to be made in the coming weeks. But for now, that's where it's at, and can't talk too much about that issue.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Operator, before we go to the next question, I just want to remind everyone on this call, the participants, to please mute your phones just to avoid any background noise, and until you're asked the question, we appreciate it. Also, Ali, did you have something to offer?
Excuse me?
Did you have something you wanted to say?
Yeah, for those in Alida Gray, for guys who don't know who she is, if you watch her fight on the internet, she just hit. She's a young lady, and she hits like a freight train. And the reason, her background, she's an Olympic alternate, 1996 judo Olympic alternate. She's ranked number 8 in the world now, and Jessica is a savvy fighter. She's an amazing fighter, but I believe Alida Gray is she's very competitive, and this fight I don't see. I don't do what Sam Kaplan do. I'm the senior executive VP. I don't just do matchmaking, and we work as a teamwork. Ray is the president of the company. He leads the pack. Ray is the man. But sometime I'm gonna step in, and I've been around the sport for a long time. I'm an Olympian myself. I fought MMA myself, and I understand the sport. And in the past, I've been around the sport for 10 years, and we work as teamwork. All of us work together. Sometimes I must speak about some issues, and I speak my mind. I don't have a filter, And last week is, this week's been a little crazy because some of the stuff was going on. But Ray Saffour is the president of World Series of Fighting. He's the guy leading the pack. You may see me here and there, but Ray's still the guy. He's giving the message for the company.
Yeah, and just to, this is Ray here. Just to add to what Ali just said, 100%. We're a team. We're a complete team here, and Ali and I talked about certain things, and we make sure that if it works, it works, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. So, like you said, we do work as a team, and nothing but love and respect for each other, and the whole team here at Versus Fighting.
And thank you. And as far as the announcement with the challenge to Bellator, a lot of people would have a negative, reaction to that, saying, either you're not as confident in your own brand, or it could come off gimmicky, looking to build hype or something like that. What's your response to the kind of negative blowback from this issued challenge to have fights with Bellator?
I don't know what you're reading, because I read all the comments on the internet. 99% it was positive, but at the end of the day, we promote fights. We're in the entertainment business. You see guys like Floyd Mayweather. We're not Floyd Mayweather. They get people to tune in. And listen, I'm gonna ask you a question. If World Series of Fighting visit Bellator, would you buy it for $40?
Oh yeah, I'd tune in.
if you buy it, trust me, a million other people will buy it. Not a million. It's interesting. Listen, I have nothing but respect for all the Bellator fighters. I think they have some great champions and have great fights. But like I said, the sport only can grow when people can work together, not boycott each other's and talk bad about each other's. But on the same note, if somebody did something to us or to World Series Fighting, whatever, I'm going to speak my mind about it, because we have to protect the sports. And certain people, they don't belong in the sport. We need to make sure we get them out of the sport. We have to protect the fighters. we want to make sure this fight is taken care of. They get paid well. And you can ask any sensitive firefighters the way they be treated. And I think we'll pay our fighter very well. And I'm not here listen, I'm here to talk about WSOF Fighting 8. Anthony, Rambo Johnson, Mike Kyle, we've been waiting for this fight for a long time. I know both coming in great shape. I know I've been hearing a lot of good reviews about Anthony and Michael from their training partners. And just tune in. And
let me ask you about Jessica Aguilar. She's I know she's the number 115 pounder in the world as far as women go, but getting Alida Gray going forward, with Invicta having a ton of talent at 115, the announcement of the UFC doing the 115 division. How will you guys continue to get talent and add to the women fighters in World Series of Fighting to keep that growing?
We have the number one girl. Everybody else should be worried. I'm not worried. We have the number one girl in the world. She's fighting the rank number 8 girl. And we signed a couple of other 115s, and we're going to sign more. We have, like we said, I have open arm. I work with Invicta. I work with anybody to put on some matches. I think Shannon, she did an amazing job with women MMA. But right now, I have the number one woman in the world, and I need to bring an opponent that can give her matches. And Alida Gray definitely going to give Jessica a run for her money.
Best of luck to you guys, World Series of Fighting 8. Thanks a lot, Ali. Appreciate your time.
It's my pleasure, sir.
Thank you.
Next question comes from the line of Trula Howe of Sherdog.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes.
Okay, sorry, my phone's acting a little crazy today. So this question is for Jessica. You're number one ranked in the world, and we just, I guess you fought for Bella. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
There's feedback. Were you not one of those that was approached to be on the Ultimate Fighter, or how come we didn't see you on Invicta? I know the World Series of Fighting takes really great care of all of their fighters, but were you approached by anyone else?
With Bellator's decision to take their women's division out of the promotion, I was speaking to a few promotions, and then I was contacted by Vale Tudo Japan for the fight against Megumi in October. So I was focused on that. I was talking to, like I said, a few promotions, trying to negotiate something. I returned from my fight. I attended a WSOF fight here in Miami, that was a Saturday. And Monday I got a call, and they offered me to be on the team. They responded, very well and very quickly. And so I took the deal, and I'm very happy with WSOF and being a part of this organization and being the face of the females here with WSOF. And after that, I think that was the announcement. After I think a week later, that was the announcement of the UFC. But like I said, I'm really happy. Everything happens for a reason. I'm excited to start off 2012 strong here with the WSOF, and I will continue to prove why I'm the best in the world.
Okay, thank you. Next question.
Next question comes from the line of Scott Harris, Bleacher Report, MMA.
Question is for maybe for Ray, maybe for Ali. So, World Series of Fighting, certainly you all have a lot of fighters in different stages of your careers or their careers, but you've got a lot of young prospects on your roster too, and you do on this particular card. So I just wondered about the thinking there. I mean, is it like a conscious effort that you make to get kind of those up-and-comers on your roster? And if it is a conscious effort, then how does that work? I mean, do you just kind of watch fights and keep your ear to the ground, or is there a more deliberate strategy involved, or what's the thinking there?
Let me kick that off first. Absolutely. Obviously for us, again, we're a young company, and we've come a very long way within a year. I said in another interview earlier this week that within 1 year, within 7 shows, I feel like we've been out here for 10 years just because of the response and the love and support that we've gotten from the fans and as well as the media. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously our goal is to build young talents. We have a lot of young talents that's on the undercard also. And Ali and I's goal is to continue to build these guys because, as you know, the generations are going to move on. Young guys are going to come up the rankings, and we're going to continue to build young fighters and become champions.
Okay, great. And now a question for Mike Kyle. How, coming into this fight, first looking back, how would you assess your 2013 as a fighter? And then how would you characterize yourself as a fighter now and your goals for 2014, starting with this fight with Anthony Johnson?
It's been a pretty good camp. I'm getting in great shape, and it's good to be dropping back down to 205. That's a goal of mine to really fight at a lighter weight class, 205. Be the bigger opponent. I'd like to be. I'm really excited for this fight. We've been waiting a long time for this fight. Preparing for this fight. It's been battles. It's always battles. Staying injury free when you're sparring against some of the top guys in the world. But I'm backing off the training now, and I'll be prepared.
I'm here.
Oh.
It hasn't been overwhelming. I've been ready for this fight. I've watched Jessica, prior to me turning pro, and I'm ready for it. I've been telling my coach that I've been ready to take these type of caliber fights. And, finally this summer we made the decision that I was going to turn pro. And, I'm excited. I know that a lot of people don't know my name. She's out there. She's very well known. She's the #1 ranked. But, come January 18th, people are going to start to get to know me. And, I'm happy and I'm excited for this fight.
All right. So we, and your opponent, Jessica, I'll turn to you now. Recently, your role, in my mind anyway, has switched. Not too long ago, we were talking about you and Megumi Fujii, who's obviously the longtime top women's fighter in the world. At any rate, a lot of people thought. She was your hero. She was your legend, she told me. This last year, you really established yourself as arguably the top dog in the division. You defeated Megumi twice. When I look at it now, that dynamic has switched. You're no longer the hungry challenger. You're pretty much on top of the mountain. Has that been something you've had to get used to in your mind? Has there been a shift in your mindset at all? And if so, has it been difficult to adjust to?
No, I believe that, all that hard work I've put in these 7.5 years is now coming to flourish, it's all my team, American Top Team. We've worked very hard, and we've had a goal since
getting on with this fight. I know it's for the lightweight title, but is it initially disappointing for you to not get the rematch with Jay-Z? And this is, of course, no disrespect to Rich, but you're stepping into this particular matchup, I would imagine, as a heavy favorite. Has that played on your mind at all? And what have you had to do mentally to get ready?
First off, the Jay-Z guy, it was for a belt, so I'll fight anyone for a world title. But I fought Jay-Z. I feel like I proved myself. I feel like I did a lot of good things in that fight, and I proved that I was a better fighter in that fight. I don't think that the rematch was, I think Luis Gonzalez was a much better matchup than Jay-Z for that fight, and it's unfortunate that he got fired. And I think, I'm really excited for a new challenge. Rich is, like Ray said, he throws a lot of punches. He's got a great takedown defense. And, it's a great matchup skill-wise for both of us for an exciting fight for the fans. And that's all I really ever try to do is put on an exciting fight. So, I just I concentrate on myself, on my own game, and just really that's all I stick to. That's all I can really control.
Okay, cool. Thanks very much, Justin. I'll go one for Rich, too, right before I get off here. Rich, it's pretty much like 3 weeks' notice you're taking this fight. It's a huge step up, I feel like, for you. How did you feel when you got the call to take this fight on such short notice, and was there ever a question in your mind as to whether you were going to take it on such short notice?
I felt great. I was happy I was given an opportunity, and I was getting ready for a fight anyway, and I didn't feel much pressure taking on
such short notice. You know, like Jason said, you know, or Justin, you don't fight for a certain person. You fight and you got to concentrate on what you're good at and how you move. And you know, you come up with a game plan, but you know, it just doesn't stick. It really doesn't stick during a fight, and you just got to concentrate on what you're good at. So, I mean, win, lose, or draw. I mean, I'm glad I got the opportunity. I'm going to give it my best. That's what we're here for. That's the opportunity we want. So I jumped right on it as soon as I could, and I want to thank Justin. I want to thank WSOF for the opportunity, and I'm really excited. And I hope we have a great fight.
All right, thank you, Rich, and thanks all you guys for being on the call. That's it for me.
Thanks, Mike.
The next question comes from the line of Dan Plasma, FCfighter.com.
Yeah, my question was for Mike. How do you feel going up against Anthony? He's such a dangerous striker. This is the one that should really be a championship fight right here because both of you guys are championship caliber fighters. How do you feel going into this match?
It makes for a good fight, exciting fight. Both of us like to strike, and both of them have the abilities to wrestle, and hopefully, he likes to stand and trade with me. I'm prepared for it all. I know that he's got a good camp behind him right now as well. So, it really does make for a great, exciting fight. I really want to, push the fight and push his cardio, and that's one of the big things I'm really pushing is, I'm going to test and see how good shape he's really in. And really try to push the cardio on him. As far as it being a championship fight, it would make for a great championship fight, but it is what it is, and the World Series of Fighting will give me the opportunity when they think I'm ready.
I'll pose the same question to Anthony. How do you feel going in against such a dangerous opponent, a guy who's a dangerous striker like yourself, a guy who's very spiritual, a very emotional guy, a dirty fighter at times, definitely a dangerous guy like yourself? How does it feel going into this war?
And myself have Mike is talented and has one of the best camps you can ever go to, AKA, and him, Mike himself and AKA are well respected, but he says he wants to push my cardio. Well, let's push it.
All right, and a quick question for Ray. Ray, these guys are so interesting outside the cage. Are we going to see any reality shows going forward to highlight who these guys and ladies are outside the cage?
Good question. There have been discussions, but nothing confirmed as such. But you never know. You never know. It's very possible.
Awesome. Well, good luck to all the fighters. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
The next question comes from the line of Sean Al-Shadi, MMA Fighting.
Hi, thanks, guys. I appreciate the time. My first question is for Anthony. So last year was kind of a down year for you. I mean, between everything that happened, you only really fought once. So I guess my question is, was it frustrating for you to go through that? I mean, do you expect to stay more active in 2014?
Of course, I plan on staying more active so I can stay injury-free, not break my hand anymore. But I'm going to definitely try and break my hand January 18th. As far as, 2013, it wasn't a bad year for me. I mean, I won my fight against Andre, even though my fight with Mike kept getting pushed back, I was still in the gym.
In terms of that title shot, because his first outing for us, he lost that fight. So for us, I mean, obviously, if he wins this one, then you never know. So we just got to have to wait and see what the outcome of the fight is.
Yeah. All right. Well, then, my next question's for Justin. So, I mean, you debuted with these guys basically. You've been with them along the way. Did you expect your name to be called when it was finally time for the lightweight title to be established?
Yeah, I mean, I expected. I feel like I fought the top contenders in the 155. With Lozon, Cavalcante, and Cobb. So I did definitely feel like I established myself at the top of the division, and I want the target on my back. So I'm excited for this, just to get the belt around my thing. And I want the target on my back where I have every single person in the world shooting for me. That's what I need.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've been on a roll here in WSF, not just beating guys, but finishing them very violently. So, what do you think it is about your style that's so challenging for your opponents to deal with?
This to me, I used to wrestle, and I realized that there's a very, very big difference between wrestling and fighting. I was too aggressive in wrestling, and that got me in trouble sometimes. And now being too aggressive, it's going to get me in trouble one of these days. But if I do fail, it's going to be going 120 miles per hour. So, my style has always been to move forward and push the pace. So that's what I'm going to continue to do. And I'm going to make my opponent really push back, and he's going to have to stop me from implementing my game plan.
Okay. Well, then, if I could just go back to Anthony Johnson real quickly. Now that you've heard Ray say that, if you win, the title shot on the line, I mean, how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel great, but, like I tell everybody else, the title isn't on my mind right now. I have to fight Mike Howell and beat him, and then I'll think about the next step. So first and foremost, my mind is on January 18th, not after that, besides resting and chilling.
All right, well then last thing, and then I'll get back in the line. I just go back to Ray really quickly. I'm curious just for your thoughts about that proposed World Series of Fighting Bellator card, because I don't think I've heard anything from you yet about it.
I think it's a great card. Listen, Ali is one of the best matchmakers in the business. I think he's done an amazing job, and looking at that card, he did, when him and I talked about it, he threw some names around, and then when I saw the final card that he put together, I think it's an amazing card. And I think if it happens, I think it's going to, like Ali said earlier, this is it's great for the sport. And just a comment again on the other reporter, I can't remember his name now, that said that it was some sort of negative. I haven't heard one single negative input from anybody in terms of that challenge when Ali did that. I've had Twitter, Facebook blowing up all the time, all day since that challenge, and everybody saying, let's make it happen. So, I think the card is great. Yesterday I did an interview with H.E.A.T, and they asked what I thought in terms of what the outcome of that fight would be. I said 10 out of 10 for World Series of Fighting.
All right. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate the time.
Thank you.
We have a question from the line of Danny Morales, BTM News Journal.
Yes, hello. My question is for Anthony. I'll start off with Anthony. Since you left the UFC, you're 5-0. Do you feel like, are you at the best you've been in your career right now?
No, not even close.
And if so, do you feel like you can still get there? Are you still in your prime, or is age getting to you?
I haven't hit my prime at all yet. I'm just having fun and just enjoying myself right now and not worried about anything. When I hit my prime, though, you'll know.
And the fact that you've been training down in Boca Raton with Black Zillions, is it kind of going to feel like a hometown feel for you over there in Fort Lauderdale?
Honestly, I have no idea. I prefer to fight, away, but I'm actually pretty excited to fight at home because, my family gets to come and, my grandmother gets to see me fight live. So that's what I'm excited about. That's what makes me, really want to do this.
Thanks a lot, Anthony. My next question is for Mike. Your first fight out with the World Series of Fighting, you lost to Andrei Arlovski, but your fight before that was with CFA down south, and you won with a really quick knockout. How does it feel for you to be back in South Florida?
It'd be nice to be out of California for a little while. Like Anthony said, I really do like to get out on the road to go fight and kind of distance myself from everyone and do my own thing. And I'm looking forward to getting a little break. I'm a full-time dad here at home with the kids, so it'd be nice to get a little bit of rest away from the kids and focus on this fight.
And then I have one last question for Jessica. What's it mean to you personally just to be able to be fighting for the first woman's belt at World Series of Fighting?
I mean, it means a lot to me. Like I said in my past, it's been 7.5 years of training leading up, to this. So this is going to be my first world title. And like I said, all that hard work, all those hours that my team and I put in, is finally going to pay off. So I'm really excited. I'm honored. to be fighting for my first world title here with the WSOF.
Thanks, Jessica. I have one last question for Ray before I go.
Thank you.
Ray, this is you're going to have 3 titles done by this last World Series of Fighting. What's the thought process and what goes into account when you have to decide to put on a title fight, being such a young promotion?
Sorry, I lost you halfway there. So what was that again?
What's the procedure and the mindset, and what goes into having to decide who's going to fight for a title when you guys are such a young promotion and you guys don't have title holders yet?
Well, let's take Justin Gaethje, for example. This guy is a beast in the cage. When he comes to fight, he comes to fight. He's had 3 outings with us, and it's all been successful. So, obviously, we look at our guys that we have on our rosters and the guys that deserve in those title fights. We'll get it. And Justin Gaethje, I think he's more than proven himself to get that title shot. Obviously, there was going to be a rematch with Jay-Z. That didn't happen. And Rich also has proven himself. So, hence the reason why he's gotten the opportunity and gotten the call, although, it was a lot, 3 weeks notice. But that being said, sometimes that's when it's the most dangerous, is the guys that, you're really not prepared for. And Rich is another guy that comes to fight. And he's proven that time and time again in the WSOF cage. So I think it's going to be an exciting fight.
Thanks a lot, Ray.
Thank you.
Next question comes from Jason Kinchy, ProMMANow.com.
And like I said before, I've been training really hard, and I'm gonna leave all of you inside that cage on January 18th, just like I do in all of my fights. So it's going to be exciting, and you know what? We have a great stacked show January 18th. So it's going to be another challenge to make that fight the best fight of the night. But hey, I'm going to challenge myself and try to make that happen as well.
All right, very good. That's it for me, guys. Thank you.
Next question comes from the line of Eddie Goldman, No Holds Barred.
Thank you very much. Hello, everybody. First question for Alida Gray. Can you tell us what we can expect in this fight? Because both you and Jessica Aguilar come with grappling backgrounds, but you're both also known for your striking. Do you expect it to be judo versus jiu-jitsu, or do you think it's going to be more of a stand-up fight?
I think that we're both very, very well-rounded fighters. I'm not going to predict where the fight's going to end up. I've been practicing on my standing. My judo is going to be there naturally. I'm not going to rely on it. I'm going to depend on it. I understand that she has a jiu-jitsu background. And I'm just going to bring a fight. I know, she's ready for this. She's excited for her first world title fight, and I'm ready to take it away from her. So, it's just going to be an exciting card. It's going to be an exciting fight for us, and we're ready to put on a show.
What do you see as your advantages over her? Because you're obviously very confident, but what do you see are your advantages that you think you're going to win the fight?
I think my advantage is that I'm the underdog. I like being the underdog. I have nothing to lose, and I'm going to go in there and fight.
Okay, thanks. And for Jessica, could you tell us about this fight, what we can expect to see? Do you think it's going to be a mix of grappling and striking, or how do you see it playing out?
Yes, Eddie. Hi, how are you, Eddie?
How you doing?
Fine, thank you. I've been training everything. I'm gonna be ready for her judo, and I'm gonna be ready for her stand up. And we're gonna mix it up, man. I'm gonna go in there and dance and have fun and show some moves out there. So we're gonna have fun January 18th. So you guys stay tuned for NBC Sports.
What do you see as your advantages over her? Because obviously, it's talked about earlier, you went to Japan and you got that second win over Megumi Fujii on the big stage over there. Other than experience, what do you see as your advantages over her?
Well, she has a lot of experience. She's been doing this longer than I have, actually. She's been in combat sports for, she's been doing judo since 1993, so she has more experience than I do. However, I think the difference here is that it's my time right now, and nobody's going to take that from me. So, I've worked very hard to get here, and it's going to take a lot of hard work to take that away from me.
Okay, thank you, and good luck to everybody in the fight.
Thank you.
Next question comes from Steve Juwan, Wrestling Observer.
Thank you, operator. My question is for Jessica. We've heard mentioned a few times on the call the proposed idea of a World Series of Fighting versus Bellator card. And given we saw you in Bellator for so many years, fighting so dominantly, do you feel like being in this position for World Series of Fighting, it's like firing the first shot across the bow?
I didn't understand the question. Could you repeat that again?
Oh, yeah. What I'm saying is, since you were featured so prominently for Bellator and now you're getting featured in the main card and fighting for a world title on World Series of Fighting, do you feel like you're firing the first shot?
Absolutely. I've worked hard to be here. I didn't just, appear out of nowhere. So, I'm going to be ready. I'm going to be ready to give the best of me. And I'm honored to be with the WSOF and be starting out the 2014 strong.
Mm-hmm. And how do you rate Alita as an opponent overall?
She's one of the top 10 in the world. So, I can only have respect and respect her abilities. I respect all of my opponents. And I train hard for every fight, So I'm doing the same and training hard, and it's gonna be a great fight.
All right, and one follow-up question for Alita, and I want to get her thoughts going into this fight, knowing that Jessica has fought some of the greats in women's MMA like Megumi Fujii and Carla Esparza and beaten them, and if that gives her any intimidation factor or not going into this title fight.
Hello. No, definitely not. I'm not intimidated. I understand that Jessica may have the experience of having have fought, some of the other top-ranked strawweights in the world, but I may have gotten lucky. I feel like I'm working my way backwards here. Starting, with Patricia Vidonic as my pro debut fight. And, my fifth fight fighting Jessica Aguilar. And, but being who I am, I'm not going to turn away or shy away from a fight. And, I'm ready for this. I've been doing judo since I was 11 years old. I've been competitive all my life. And so, I'm ready for this.
Very good. We look forward to the fight. Thank you both.
Next question is from Michael Stetz, MMA Mania.
Yeah, I had a question for Anthony, and Ray and Ali could chime in on this too. This is your last fight under contract for World Series of Fighting, correct, Anthony?
Yes.
And now, has there been any dialogue between you guys about locking you up for the future and not letting you become a free agent, or are you going to deal with it after the fight?
After the fight, in my opinion. I mean, I love Ali. I love Ray, I love World Series of Fighting, Sean, everybody. So I'm really enjoying myself here. So we definitely going to see what happens. You know what I mean?
Let me answer this too. Listen, like I said in the previous interviews, and listen, whatever we don't want guys under contract. Even if a guy don't want to fight with us, we don't keep guys forcing guys to fight with us. And Anthony. He's been here since day one. He's one of the pioneers. We love Anthony, but at the end of the day, after this fight, win or lose or draw, we would love to have Anthony around. But if Anthony has any other idea, entertaining any other ideas, we will support him 100% wherever he goes. I give him a big, huge hug and I said good luck, and I wish him the best of luck. And listen, this is 2014. We're not in boxing here. We're in different sports. And everybody should, if somebody have a dream to fight, whatever, you call it, the UFC, whatever, who I am as a human being, as an individual, to keep him from achieving his dreams. Everybody have a dreams, and me and Ray and Sean, when we started this promotion, we said fighters first. And guarantee you, this is why we have so much fans behind us and people supporting us. And we might not be, we might not be in the biggest rating, whatever, but I guarantee you, whatever tune watch World Series of Fighting on NBC Sports, they really true MMA fans.
Thanks, Ali. And also, I know the announcements were made at the last card about the there'll be fights on the NBC network. Are there any tentative dates being thrown around?
We can.
Right. Sorry, Ali. Right now, this that's kind of like off discussions at the moment as we're moving forward with certain things, and so right now that's that will come on a later date in terms of announcements.
Okay. Thanks, Red.
And listen, 2014, I promise you, I just got back from New York. 2015 is going to be a big year for World Series of Fighting and for MMA. We have some big plans. The fan is going to be happy. They're going to get a lot of fights and a lot of big things happening. 2014.
Absolutely.
Bessie Schindler of Tough Gnarl has the next question.
Hey guys, how are you? My first question is for Ali Abdelaziz and Ray Sefo. And this is not to take anything away from Rich Patishnock, who more than proved his worth and merit through his 2 victories over the Gracies. But Nick Newell, another undefeated lightweight on your roster, who really wasn't that bumped up in his last fight at World Series of Fighting 7 that happened just last month, claims he wasn't even offered the fight. Is there a reason for that? Are you guys kind of saving that for a future occasion?
Listen, go ahead. Listen, Nick Newell probably one of the biggest stars in World Series fighting, and we have nothing but love and respect for the kid. He's so talented, but this is a timing issue. I'm not taking anything away from Nick Newell, but I have a big fight for Nick Newell. I have 2014. I have probably the biggest fight of his life on the biggest H.E.A.T stage, and I've been planning this for almost a little while now, for almost 7 months. And everything is about timing. Nobody taking anything away from Nick Newell, but it's just a timing issue. We need someone fighting Canada, and Nick Newell was ready to fight, and Gaethje was ready to fight in January, and we can't just have all the stars on one card. We want to be able to share all the stars on different cards to have a decent show every show,
Yeah, and just to add on to that also, absolutely. Obviously, we do have big plans for Nick as well. Nothing but love and respect for Nick. He's a great fighter. But on top of that, he just fought. So, for him to fight just in case it wouldn't be, he just fought last month. So, again, like Ali says, we do have big plans for Nick, and this is the first card of 2014, and 2014 is going to be a great year for the WSOF.
And let me add on, Rich. For who doesn't know Rich, because he fought on the undercard, Rich will give Justin. I think Justin is an amazing fighter. He's one of the best talents we have. Him and Marlon and all this, and my Anthony Johnson. But Rich will give Justin a run for his money tomorrow. Guarantee you. Next week. It's going to be one of the toughest, brutal fights World Series of Fighting put on. Stylistically, it's a nightmare for both of them. They both are going to come out and fight battles and injured and aching for weeks. And this is why we put our matches stylistically for the fan. And it's going to be an amazing. Rich is a tough opponent, and Justin is a great fighter, and it's going to be a great fight.
Oh, yeah, I agree with you in that respect. I watched both of Rich's previous fights, and he is an outstanding fighter, and I think that he's going to give Gaethje quite a matchup. I think that it's going to probably be the fight of the night, in my opinion. And the next question is for Anthony. This is in regards to if, in fact, you do re-sign Sometime down the line, another one of your stablemates over at Blackzilian, Tyrone Spong, was the other person used to be representative of your weight division in the Bellator versus World Series of Fighting matchup card. Do you see down the line there perhaps being a situation where you may have to fight your teammate? And if, in fact, that does occur, is there any kind of plan that you have set in place for that?
Yeah, I never fight him, plain and simple. If it came down to it, we wouldn't fight, no matter what.
All right. Thank you.
Media, we're running out of time a little bit here. I want to try to accommodate as many of you still on hold. We appreciate you guys waiting. We're going to take a few more questions before we go to opening comments. Again, for those that have been waiting to ask a question, we're going to try to get as many of you as possible. Maybe if we can limit our questions to one per caller, we'll get a few more guys in. I know there's a lot of interest in talking to Ali and Ray as well as the fighters, and we want to try to get as many of you as we can. And so let's try to limit our questions to one and see if we can get as many as we can in the next few minutes before we go to closing comments.
At the end of the call, guys, I'll be making an announcement for everybody.
That's fine. Okay, well, let's take a few more questions, Ali, just because we have so many guys that have been waiting, and then we'll go to closing comments. This has been a great call so far, and we appreciate everyone's participation. So, operator?
Next question comes from the line of Mark Piocos, Combat Sports.
Thanks for taking my call, guys. My question is to Lita Gray. Matt Brown had mentioned this morning that he didn't think that women had a lot of KO power, but obviously you had one of the best KOs of this year. Can you kind of respond to your punching prowess and the ability to be able to KO your opponent and quite possibly KOing Jessica coming up in this fight?
Definitely. Pretty funny when I was growing up, my father was a karate black belt, and we would have contests to see who could punch him the hardest in the tummy. And, at the end, I would always win. And he would always tell me, you punch hard. For being so little, you punch hard. And, going into the fight against Sonia Tame, my coach and I and my teammates, we had practice at overhand right for about 2 weeks. And he got in my face and he said, throw the overhand right, and she's going to be there. She's not going to move. Just throw it. And, the bell rang. I got close as possible to Sonia, and I threw the overhand right. It landed perfectly, and, I knocked her out. I'm not going to predict what's going to happen in the fight against Jessica. If I knock her out, great. If I tap her out, that's also great. I'm just looking for a win, and, however it comes, I'll take it.
Well, thanks a lot for your question. I know there's a lot more callers on there. Thanks for taking my call.
Let me make a quick comment. Hey, I think if Alida hits Matt Brown flush, you will knock Matt Brown out too.
Ali, say that again?
I believe if Alida hits anybody, even includes Matt Brown flush, the way she hits people, you can even ask her. He's a lot more experienced than me than this. She would even knock Matt Brown too for him talking like that about the woman.
Thank you.
Matt Brown, you're in trouble.
Operator?
Next question comes from the line of Callum Leslie, MMASucka.com.
Hi, thanks for taking the time. I've just got a very quick question for Jessica, and then I'll hopefully get a very quick comment from Ali as well. Jessica, you are ranked in the top 10 on pretty much everywhere that ranks female strawweights, but you're only at third on this card. There's a non-title fight, which is higher up the card than you. How do you feel about your positioning on the card, and do you think that you maybe deserve a more prominent positioning within the event?
I'm not greedy. I feel like I've gotten here, and the WSOF is doing a great job putting me and giving me what I deserve. So, I can't ask for more, man. I'm fighting at the title world championship fight on NBC Sports, and here in my backyard. I can't, I'm not greedy. I like to. There's enough for all of us. So I just want to enjoy it, do my job, and give you guys a great fight.
Let me talk quick. Let me listen. Anthony Johnson fought 2 times. We honored to have Jessica on there. It does not take anything away from Jessica what she had on the card. But I tell you this, on January 18th, she mounted to pay fighters. I think we'll pay them, high dollars. And we will, more established, and more will get some money, start making some money. They will get pay a lot more money than they're making now. I promise you that, and I promise all of them that.
Okay, thanks very much.
Next question comes from the line of Adam Conklin, SCIfighting.com.
Hi, can you hear me?
Go ahead, Adam.
Okay, well, we're an hour and 17 into this. I put in at the beginning, so a lot of my questions were answered. But I wanted to know how Anthony Johnson felt just being undefeated in this promotion, and I was wondering if he thought that he should get that title shot now, or if it's a bit of a burden to have to wait longer for that shot.
I feel like things are going to happen whenever they're supposed to happen. I'm not in a rush for a title shot or anything like that. Like I said, I'm just having fun. I'm just enjoying myself. I've seen a lot of guys say, "Oh, I want a title shot," and then they have a fight, and that next fight they have is supposed to be a test and see if they're ready for the title, and then they end up getting beat up. I don't want to be one of those guys, so I'm going to just wait until it's supposed to happen.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, operator.
Next question comes from Adam Labar, Models and MMA.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for your time today. A lot of my questions also were answered early on, but a quick one for Ray Sefo and also Abdelaziz. With Johnson, as you said, getting a win over Kyle, that would put him in the first ever light heavyweight title fight for World Series of Fighting. Any idea on who his opponent would be or what fight would make for the winner to be his opponent?
That's a good question. Again, Ali and I have actually sat down and we matched a couple of cards already. Obviously, when the fight with Anthony and my car, that becomes a success. In terms of Anthony winning, then we'll look at the opponent. Obviously, right now, and that fight is probably another 4 or 5 months down the line. So it's too soon to kind of say, go into it right now.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We have a question from Brian Heminger, MMAArtsbreaker.com.
Yeah, my first question is for Jessica Aguilar. Your last time appearing on national television was about 20 months ago on MTV2. Women's MMA has really exploded since then. Do you kind of view this fight as almost a reintroduction to the casual MMA fans?
Absolutely. I've prepared well for this, and I'm ready, whether it be on TV or not. But I'm excited to be on NBC Sports and coming back strong. So if you want to call it the reintroduction, I can do the reintroduction, and it's going to be in a great fashion.
And briefly for Mike Kyle, you retired from MMA just under a year ago, but you came back and you had a couple fights since then. What helped bring you back to the sport, and where do you kind of draw your motivation heading into this bout?
A lot of my motivation comes within. I got to support a family right now. I'm not in no position in my life to where I don't have any other options right now, and it kind of sucks. But things are what they are, and I'm thankful for the opportunity to provide for my family. So with all that said, remember, I'm going to take all that into the ring with me, and it's going to be hell.
All right. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
Next question comes from Alex Schlinsky, Fansided.com.
Ask your question, please.
Hi, this is for Ali Abdelaziz. I wanted to know about, I heard today that you were announced Usman Faharis and Yushin Okami will be fighting on the March 29th show. Can we get a confirmation on that?
Yes, Faharis and Okami will be fighting on this card, and we're going to have other 2 title fights on the card also.
Okay, and one more quick question for the women fighters. As someone just mentioned earlier, Matt Brown's comments earlier today, she didn't mention that he also said that if he was going to pay to watch a woman fight, he would like them to be topless. What do you have to say about that? About a prominent MMA fighter coming out and saying something like that?
I feel that that's very disrespectful. We're fighters and we're athletes, and just like any other sport, we work hard for what we do. And he's entitled to his own opinion, but we're going to put on a fight, and he's welcome to tune in if he wants.
Well, first of all, let me add to that. First of all, if it is true that he said that, which I very much doubt, but if it is true, I think it's disgusting. I think that everybody should respect all the female fighters because they do bring it. They do bring the fight. They're all talented, and it really gets to me when people start saying stupid shit like that.
Exactly. Next question, please.
Next question comes from the line of Justin Tiro, MMASucca.com.
Hi, my question's for Jessica Aguilar. Bellator always seemed to be a little lukewarm in its support of the women's division. Do you feel a little more welcomed in World Series of Fighting?
I can't say, I can't speak bad about Bellator. I have nothing bad to say about them. They gave me an opportunity as well, and then I took it and I did what I could there, and they decided to change their ways. But WSOF has welcomed me again very strongly and with open arms, and they've believed in me. So I am very grateful to them. I look forward to 2004 with WSOF and making this year the best of my career.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We still have a few more. We're going to try to get you all in here. So thank you for the one question rule applying. Go ahead, operator.
We have Brad Gustafson, FightParrot.com.
Hey guys, thanks for taking my call. This question is for Rich Patishnock. Rich, you were originally scheduled to fight on the card at 170 pounds. Can you kind of talk us through the weight cut? Is it going all right? Can you also tell us, was this in the plans before, and do you have any experience at lightweight?
The original fight was actually at 155. So I was in camp getting ready for the weight cut in a fight. So camp wasn't just sprung on me like that.
Okay.
But I don't have any experience at 155. I think the last time I weighed that much, I was in 5th grade, to be honest. The weight cut as of right now is going pretty good. My coaches, my strength and conditioning coach, everybody's behind me 100%, and everything is great. I feel great. My energy level's good, and we'll just hope for the best in the next week or two and make sure everything goes good.
Great. Thanks.
Next question comes from Ashley Luther, MMA Mayhem Radio.
Hey guys, my question is for Jessica and Alita. I was wondering, what does it say about the growth of the sport that both of you are fighting for a title in one of the largest MMA organizations in the world?
I'm honored to be one of the top leaders in female MMA, and since I started the sport 7.5 years ago, I mean it's like night and day. You can finally see light, on the other side of the tunnel, and so I'm living it, I'm enjoying it, and it's I'm very thankful to all those promotions that are giving us ladies the opportunity to showcase our skills and prove that we can also train hard, and we're here to also fight hard and give the same skill set as the gentlemen.
awesome. Alita, your thoughts?
I have to agree. It's time for the females to shine in this sport. I'm happy with WSOF bringing on the strawweight onto their promotion, and Tough coming up, and the UFC announcing the strawweight. It's amazing, and I'm really happy, and I'm happy that I'm going to be a part of it. I'm towards the end of my career here with MMA, but I'm going to make the best of it, and we'll see what happens later on in the future with female MMAs. It's gonna be good for us.
Absolutely, I think it's definitely going to explode. Thank you, ladies, very much. Thank everybody for letting me ask my question. Have a good one.
Operator, let's take 2 more questions.
Okay. All right, the next one is from Adam Christ, MMAinsider.com.
Adam, ask your question, please.
I was curious with Anthony Johnson and Mike Kyle touching on the testing each other's cardio subject. Both of you guys
right to the ground and stay on top despite her jiu-jitsu.
No, I haven't been working on anything specific. I've been focusing on everything. I need to be ready for whatever Jessica brings, and wherever this fight ends up, the only thing I do not want is for this fight to go to the cards. I hope we're gonna finish this fight, and before the end of the 5th round, and it's gonna be a battle.
Fantastic. Good luck.
Okay, thank you. Just before we go to closing comments, we'll start with the fighters and then go to Ray and Ali with closing comments. Once again, Saturday, January 18th, from the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida. Tickets are available at Ticketmaster starting at $29. 5 fights air live on NBC Sports Network at 9, including 2 world title fights. Undercard fights will be streamed live at WSOF.com. This has been a long call. We really, really appreciate the media for their support. Really, really appreciate, especially the fighters, for taking so much time out of their schedule. So if we can just get some quick opening comments from the fighters, then we'll wrap it up with Ray and Ali, and we'll say goodbye for today. So, Justin, can we have some closing comments? And thanks for hanging around.
Yeah, definitely. What is 9 days away? 9 days, I think. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm working my butt off. Camp's coming to an end, and I'm ready to take some risks and put on a great show.
Okay, thank you. Good luck to you in the world title fight. You'll be making history if you win. Rich, your chance to make history. What are your final thoughts?
I'm just happy to be here. I'm grateful for the opportunity. I want to thank Justin. Real class act. I'm excited to hopefully put on a great show. Thank you for WSOF for putting me on the card, and just thank you for having me today.
Okay, thank you. Anthony, can we get the closing comments from you, please?
Yeah, thank you for having me on today. And so January 18th, I plan on putting on a great show, and we're going to show the world what WSOF is all about. And come to the open workouts January 16th at the Jocko Hybrid Training Center.
All right. And Mike Kyle, he left. Is that correct, Mike? Okay, we'll go to Jessica and Alita. Jessica, closing comments.
First of all, I'd like to thank the media for being on the call and sharing our comments and stories. Without you guys, we wouldn't be here. Thank you to the WSOF for the opportunity. And January 18th, stay tuned. Don't miss it. NBC Sports, and I'm really excited about my first world title. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Alita, can we get some closing comments?
Yes, I just want to thank everybody. I want to thank the WSOF. I can't wait to get to Florida and shock the world. Tune in January 18th. It's going to be a fight.
Okay, thank you. Ray, do you want to go first, or Ali? It doesn't matter.
Ray, go ahead, Ray.
Yes, first of all, thank you to the media for being on this call. I appreciate the time that you take to be here. Of course, I want to thank all my fighters that's on WSOF 8. Really looking forward to talking to KG and Rich Patishnock, and also obviously Anthony Johnson, my call, a fight that's been set 3 times. And so, three times charm. Of course, our first female fight, Jessica Aguilar and Aliyah Gray. I wish you guys the best. I think, you both are going to shock the world of what females are made of. And I wish you guys the best. And again, thank you. Tune in on NBC Sports Network on the 18th. And good luck to everybody.
Take it home, Ali.
I just want to thank everybody in the media, and I want to thank all the fighters on the media call. It was a very hard decision for me to make who's going to be on the undercard and the main card. I want to thank all the guys on the undercard. I want to say sorry to all the guys who didn't make it to the main card. We have other 2 fight on the main card, Tyson Nam, Cody Bellinger, and also Macaco versus Luis Palomino. We designed this card for one reason only. It's for excitement, and this is the best World Series fighting card we ever put together. It's going to be the way the fight match up is going to be a brutal, hard fight, every fight from top to bottom. There's going to be some highlights. There's going to be some knockouts. And, it's going to be a very, very grueling night for all these great fighters. And the one winner and the only winner is the fan. And I want to thank the fan, and I want to thank NBC and NBC Sports, the biggest media company in the world, for giving us the opportunity. And God bless you all, and I see you on the January 18th.
Okay. Thanks, Ali. Thanks, Ray. Thanks to all the fighters, the media. Special thanks to Maggie and Diane for the conference group for a great call. We hope to see you on the 18th at Seminole Hard Rock Hotel, Casino in Hollywood, Florida. If not, make sure and tune in. It's live at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific on NBC Sports Network with preliminary fights at WSOF.com preceding the main card on NBC